Okay, so pseudo-hyponatremia. First of all, what is hyponatremia? So hypo or hypernatremia is technically a problem of free water, not actually a sodium. Okay, free water problem. So if water is high relative to sodium, then we say it is hyponatremia. If water is low relative to sodium, we say that is hypernatremia. So now coming to hyponatremia. So initially we can subdivide hyponatremia into three parts. First one is with high based on osmolality. One is hyponatremia with high osmolality. Another is hyponatremia with normal osmolality. Another is hyponatremia with decreased osmolality. Now this hyponatremia decreased osmolality is what we call a true hyponatremia, because based on lower sodium level we expect that osmolality should be low. Why we think like that? Because the equation of osmolality says it is 2 into sodium concentration plus I think glucose concentration upon 18 plus urea concentration upon 2.3. I think I have to check the equation, but the important thing is based on sodium level, mainly sodium concentration, because we are adding twice the amount of sodium concentration for osmolarity calculation. Second thing is glucose, another thing is urea. So these are the three main osmoles based on which we calculate osmolarity. So if osmolarity low and sodium concentration low, we call it true hyponatremia. Now coming back to this hyponatremia with normal osmolarity. So it is called pseudo hyponatremia. Why it is called pseudo hyponatremia? The thing is, don't worry about the term over here. The important thing is sodium is actually normal. And why this happens? This happens because there is some problem with laboratory measuring technique. So it's not exactly a problem. It is the way sodium is measured conventionally. So it is called lab artifact. Now, how can this occur? It is not important for CK, but if you really want to understand the difference between normal osmolarity versus increased osmolarity with hyponatremia, for that it is important. Okay, so now coming back to pseudo hyponatremia, why does this occur? So the conventional laboratory equipment measures sodium in plasma. Okay, and plasma is actually composed of water plus some amount of solids that are dissolved in. So thing is, sodium is dissolved in water, but it is not there in some solids. So it is very obvious which solids we are talking about. We are talking about proteins and lipids. Okay, so overall what happens is actual sodium concentration is in plasma water, not total plasma water. I am separating this for understanding, but we measure where in total plasma, which includes solids. So to make it clear by example, suppose the actual sodium concentration in plasma water is sodium concentration in plasma water. Emphasize the word water here. We are not talking about whole plasma, we are talking about water in the plasma. It is, let's say, 150 millimole per liter. Okay. Now the usual ratio of water to solid in plasma is around, like, we have to accept it right over because it is normally seen, is like 93%. Okay, let me draw a figure. So this is total plasma. So this is 7% and this is 93%. This is plasma water, and these are solids. Okay, and sodium actually lies here in plasma water, very obvious, but we measure in this whole compartment, total plasma. Okay, so for example, let's say we are talking about example 1. A patient have this ratio, this normal amount of ratio, 93% versus 7%, and we know that sodium concentration is 150 millimole per liter. So to make the calculation easier, let's say this 93% part is 1 liter. So by simple calculation, this 93% part, which is 1 liter, will contain 15 millimole of 150 millimole of sodium, and this 7% part will contain none. But we are not measuring in this 93% part specifically, we are measuring in whole this 100% thing. Okay, so what will happen is, like, the actual sodium is 150 millimole in a 1 liter of plasma water, but we are measuring in how much amount of plasma. It will be like this, like 90, if 93% is 1 liter, then 100% will be what? It will be like 100 upon 93. So if we calculate what is 100 upon 93, it's come down to 1.075. So basically total amount will be 1.05 liter of plasma. So basically we have sodium, we detected, the laboratory detected the sodium concentration as 150 millimole in 1.075 liter of total plasma, which comes down to actual calculation that we get in laboratory report, 150 upon 1.05, that is 139.53. Okay, so yeah, in our mind it is like it normal laboratory, it is in normal laboratory, and 139.53 millimole per liter. Now consider the example 2, where patient have let's say multiple myeloma in your example. So in what will happen in multiple myeloma? There will be too much immunoglobulins in the blood. So globulins will be high in the blood. So we ultimately lead to more solids. More solids in the plasma. So let's say this 93 to 7% ratio will become simply 80% free water, not plasma water, and 20% solids. Why? Because we have increased amount of protein or globulin, whatever you say. Okay. Now we know that patient has a normal patient has a normal concentration. So what will have normal concentration of normal amount of sodium. So what will happen the actual plasma water sodium concentration will be 150 millimole per liter. So that comes down to this part, 150 millimole. As previously, let's just assume this 80% part is 1 liter. So to simplify the calculation, then this whole part will be 100 upon 80 equal to, I think it comes down to 1.125. Let's check. 100 upon 80, 1.25. So yeah, this is 1.25 liter total plasma. This is total plasma, guys, and this is plasma water. So now our detected sodium concentration will be 150 millimole in 1.25 liter of total plasma, which comes down to 150 upon 1.25, that is 120. So it is like grossly out of range. Okay, grossly out of range, because we know that normal range is 135 to 145. So what happened here in both of the example? The actual sodium concentration in plasma water was normal. Okay, we don't say 150 is normal, but we actually don't detect that also. So our normal range is 135 to 145, but the actual actual plasma in the plasma water was 150 millimole in per liter in both the patients. But the first patient has like normal division of plasma water versus solid, and second person had too much amount of protein, which disturb the concentration or ratio of plasma water versus solids. So by calculation, we got the lower amount of sodium detected, but the actual sodium was normal, and even the osmolarity is normal. Why? Because if we see our this osmolarity equation, it considers sodium, urea, and glucose. So if technically sodium, glucose, and urea are fine, the osmolarity will be obviously fine. Okay, but so that's why it is called pseudo hyponatremia, and it is a laboratory calculation artifact. So if now we don't have to know the name of the laboratory method, but there is some indirect method called indirect IES. If we measure by this, that is routinely happen, we will get this false amount of low sodium concentration. But there is another laboratory test which detects directly in this plasma water part, that will be normal. So how can we, for our CK purpose, how can we suspect there is pseudo hypernatremia? Yes, another example of this pseudo hypernatremia will be, as we said earlier, solid in plasma will constitute fat and protein. Okay, so we consider an example of protein, that is multiple myeloma. Another example would be increased fat. Which one it can be? Like very severe hypertriglyceridemia, hyper TG. Let's say it's like more than 1.5 milligram per deciliter. That can do also. Another example of increased protein will be like IVIG therapy. Someone has been given IVIG therapy, he or she may also have increased amount of immunoglobulin in the blood, and that can lead to detection of pseudo hyponatremia. So how can we suspect clinically? So first of all, we have to know the context of the patient, like is he suffering from hypertriglyceridemia or multiple myeloma, or is he has been given IVIG therapy, those kind of thing. Okay, second thing will be if there is a clue in the question, like directly detected plasma osmolarity is normal, but sodium is very low, like 120 in our example. So if sodium is very low, if we calculate the osmolarity, which will again come very low, calculate, because it largely depends on sodium based on this equation. Let's just copy it over here. Okay. So, sodium largely depends, osmolarity, calculated osmolarity. It's not actual osmolarity, it's calculated osmolarity. Calculated osmolarity depends largely on sodium. So if we detect this, measure the sodium low, the calculated osmolarity will also be low, but the directly detected osmolarity is normal. Okay. So the difference between them will tip you or hint you towards the pseudo hyponatremia. All that. There is another thing called hyponatremia with high osmolality. It is another topic. It is actually dilutional hyponatremia, and it happens in hyperosmotic hyperglycemic coma or syndrome (HHS). And another example will be mannitol infusion. So that is a topic for another video. Let's conclude.